Review and redline contracts rapidly with CallidusAI. You can redline contracts a number of different ways within this platform. We'll take a look at one that's called Contract Comparison and Insights. This is most useful for when you have an internal reference template that you like to redline against, and you're frequently having to redline other parties' contracts, but you want to redline them in your preferred substance and style. Here, you upload the other party's contract and yours. From there, in about a minute, you get this visual orientation of how far apart the two contracts are. Then you get a text summary of the critical differences across the two contracts. And then you get a visual inventory of how many provisions and which provisions exist in both contracts and which one are missing in one versus the other. So in about a minute or so, you skip that initial reading to determine how far apart this third party's contract is from what you typically prefer. And instead, you get this fantastic breakdown and summary of the differences and similarities. From there, we go into the redlining area. Here, you can see both contracts side by side, this is really helpful for just keeping up with the two contracts. On the left-hand side, you see the provisions. And importantly, you can see how well aligned these two provisions are between the other party's contract and yours. This allows you to focus on the provisions that are least aligned instead of you having to read the other party's contract and tell us where you want the platform to focus. Let's pick one that's less aligned. We'll go to survival. So here, the survival clause is automatically scroll to in both contracts. We can do the same thing with any other provision, and you can see it even does one-to-many matching. So it's not always restricted to one-to-one. And then once you see the provision, it will show you the issues to consider. Again, taking work and thinking off your plate, allowing you to speed up contract redline and review. So we see the issues to consider. Let's go into the rewrite area. In this area, you have preloaded actions. Make it simpler, align the third party's contract substantively to yours, make it more robust, find middle ground and minimal edits, or you can freeform type the action you'd like it to take. Let's say make it simpler. CallidusAI is now going to execute the action that you asked of it and produce a suggested edit. There's additional value add built into the tool. You can see what the market standard terms are for this provision, as well as how your and the other party's contract differs from market. This allows for much faster conversation because you get that immediate grounding of what the market provision is for this kind of contract. We come back to rewrite. Let's click accept. And if we come up to see the redline contract, you'll see the red line pop in just like we would expect it. And then once we download the Word contract, the red line would appear just as we would expect it to appear.